Alright, hello guys. Welcome to Dupi Animation. So today we are going to be doing a simple video slideshow montage. Okay, so let's not waste time and let's start something. So let's create our main composition and name it main. Okay, let's give it something like 20 seconds video. Then click OK. Now let's create a second composition and name this composition video 1. Okay, then click OK. All right, so this video 1 composition is where we are going to design our picture or video compositions. Okay, so after creating the video 1 composition, now let's create a new solid layer. Okay, after creating the new solid layer, let's go to the masking tools and select round rectangular tube. Then draw on your solid layer. Okay, after that, duplicate it. So Ctrl D to duplicate. Okay, so after duplicating it, the top one, let's apply stroke on it. So let's type stroke, or go to generate and select stroke there. So stroke, double click to apply the stroke on. Then come to the stroke attributes, then select on transparent. All right, then after that, hit S and scale it. So after scaling it, move it up. Because the anchor point is in the middle, that's why it scales something like evenly. But we want it up here. Okay, so somewhere here is okay. If it's not enough, you can scale it up a bit more. Then the stroke size, let's make it something like 4. The stroke size is 4. Now let's come to the second one, the second solid layer. So this one, let's adjust the style a bit. Let's go to the pen tool, then select add vertex 2. Okay, then create some 2 points on it. Okay, now what we are going to do is we select a few points like this one, the new added points, then this and this. Okay, then move it up a bit. We are just at this point, we are just designing something here. Okay, so let's select this and this again, hold the shift and select them, the key points, then pull this one down. Okay, I think something like this is okay. Then select this and this, then move it. Okay, for the selection, when I select one key point, I hold the shift key, then select the next. Okay, so let's move it to this side a bit. Okay, so it's okay. So something like this is okay for me. So select the top one, which is the stroke, and apply linear wipe on it. Okay, then you cut half. Let me see, let me go 0. Let me put this one to 0, the angle to 0. Let me bring the rulers. Let me see the rulers. Okay, so I want to cut it to this point. Okay, so let me see, something like this. Okay, something like this is okay. All right, so after that, after cutting the bottom, duplicate it, the stroke. Okay, so after duplicating it, delete the stroke effect from it. Then with the masking tool on, go and select delete vertex 2. Okay, then delete these points. Okay, delete the bottom end of the rectangle. Okay, so delete the bottom end of the rectangle. Then you have something like this. Okay, you have something like a triangle. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to make this one looks like a reflection on top of the video. All right, so hit T for opacity, then reduce its opacity to something like 20%. Okay, so after this, let me import a couple of videos into the composition. So let me right click in, import multiple files. So desktop, great video. So let me select all these videos. Okay, let me just import them. Okay, so I have these videos in addition. Let me create a folder, then place them inside. New folder. Let me name the folder footage. Okay, then let me place them inside. Okay, let me create another folder and name it videos. Okay, then place this one inside the video composition. Okay, so now let me open our footage folder. We have all this video inside here. So what I will do next is this. I will drag one video to the bottom of the video one composition. Okay, then I'll come to the track mats here. Okay, the track mats, then select alpha mat. Okay, so you see I've used the alpha mat to carve the shape out of the video. All right, it's too big, so let me scale it down. Hit S, then scale it down. Okay, something like this is okay. All right, so we have this. Okay, so I want to style my video a bit. So what I want to do is the stroke around it, I'll try to place something like a solid to block the middle. So I'll create a new solid. Okay, then scale it down to something in the middle somewhere here. All right, okay, something like this. All right, so after creating the solid, you select the stroke and change the track matte to alpha inverted matte. Okay, so you have something like this, a stylized video frame. Okay, all right, so after doing this, all you have to do is what? Duplicate the videos. So I have video one in our video folder here, so let me duplicate it something like 9 times. So Control D, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so I have 10 video footage here. What we have to do next is when you double click, then open the video 2, all you have to do is select the video, then hold the Alt key, then drag the next video on top of it to swap it. You see that the next video is small, so the video has become small here. You don't have to worry, just scale it up. Okay, just scale it to fit it. That's all. Okay, so let me rush and do this one quickly. All right, so after finishing changing the videos, the next thing to do is to create a radio wave. Okay, you see this, when you see the video, there is a radio wave under this. Okay, under the text flag. Okay, so that's what we are going to do next. All right, so let's create a new composition, then name it title 1, then give it a width of something like 1280, a height like 480. Okay, so let's create a new solid layer in it. Okay, then go and select a rectangular 2, then draw a bar, rectangular bar. I think this is okay. All right, now let's go and select the pen 2, add vertex 2, then create 3 dots here. Okay, let me select the selection 2, then pull this one down. Okay, all right, now let's add a color to it. Let's give it a fill color. Let's give it a color of something like a dark blue kind of feel. Okay, I think this is okay. Let me see, let me move the points a bit forward. Let me select the 3 points and move them forward a bit. Okay. So what I did next was to create a kind of folding angle. Let me see how it looks like there. Yeah. Like a folded side to it. So let me move the 3 side forward a bit more. Okay. Now let me select the pen tool, then cut this side and this side a bit. All right. And let me use the delete vertex tool, then take this side off. So now I can create or duplicate the same solid layer, duplicate. Okay. Then apply ramp to this one, the top one, ramp. Then delete the fill. Okay. So now all that you have to do is delete the key points here. All right. So then let's move this one somewhere here. Then you have something like this, giving the idea of a folded region there. Okay. So now let me shade the gradients angle. Okay. Let me bring the dark side at this point, then the white in a bit. So we have this. Okay. Now let's go to the project window. Okay. So now let's create a new folder, then name it titles. Okay. Now let's drag title 1 into it. Okay. Let me open title 1, then duplicate it five times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have created our title. Now the next thing to do is to create the radio wave. Okay. So now the radio wave, let me create a new composition and name it radio wave. Okay. Then give it a size of something like 800 by 800. 800 by 800. Then click OK. All right. So what you do next is to create a new solid layer in the radio wave. All right. Then go to Effect. Type radio wave. Radio waves. Okay. So this is the radio waves. This is what it does, like a beacon. Okay. Okay. So let's change it to white. Okay. Then the stroke, let's change here 30. Then 30. We are done with setting up the elements to use or the items that you are going to need in the main. Okay. So now let's go to our main window. So now in our main window, let's create the background and the rest. Okay. So what we do next in our main window is to create a solid layer, new solid. Okay. All right. Now let's apply a grade effect on this solid layer. So let's go to Effect and type grade. Okay. So here is this. Let's apply it. Okay. That's all. Let's make it 3D. Let me switch the toggle switches here and make it 3D. Okay. Now hit R and rotate it on X 90 degrees. Okay. So we have this. All right. Okay. Now duplicate it. Okay. You duplicate. All right. Then pull one down. Okay. You duplicate and pull one down. Let's leave it here for now. All right. Then pull one up. Let's just leave them here for now. Now let's scale them up. Let's hit S. Then the bottom one, let's give it something like 5,000. Be okay. Something like 5,000. Now let's scale the top one to something like 5,000. Okay. Now the top one, let's change the corner points to width slider. Okay. Then the width, let's go something like 8. Then the border something like 2. Okay, let me just leave it at 2 for now. All right. So now the bottom one, let me just close this in a bit. Then the border, as for the bottom one, the border, let me keep it at 2 for the bottom one, right? So now let me leave them like this for now. Okay. Now let me create another solid layer and name it BG. Okay. Now let me drag it under. Then apply ramp, gradients ramp on it. Ramp. That's gradients ramp on it. Let me swap the colors. Okay. So we will have, let me check, the bottom should be something like dark blue kind of feel. Then the top, let me just give it some kind of lighter color, lighter blue color also. So let me leave it like this for now. Okay, so we have something like this. So now the next thing to do, let's select the first one, then type linear wipe. Linear wipe. Then apply the effects. Then change the angle to 0. Then wipe half of it. Okay, at this point, something like 30%. Wipe it up to 30%. Then feather it. Okay, you see that? Okay, let me make it something like 35. All right, now copy this particular effect. You copy it, the linear wipe, then select the second grade, then paste it on it. Okay. Okay. So now let's name the two solid. Let's name this one grade up. Grade up. Then the bottom one, grade down. So now let's bring in our first video. Okay, let me go to the project window. Now video 1. I'm bringing video 1. Okay, so this is our video 1. Let's make it 3D. Okay. All right. So now we have made it 3D. The next thing to do now is to bring in what? A camera. Okay. So we right click in, new, camera. Let's make it something like, okay, this is 200 millimeters camera. Let's click OK. Now C is for camera, zoom in camera. So let's zoom in, something like this. Let's zoom in like this. I think like this is okay for now. So let me leave it like this for now. Okay. All right. So now let me select video 1. Then pull it up a bit more. Okay. Now let's apply a reflection on it. Something like Vinci reflection. Yeah. Vinci reflection on it. Okay. Now let me pull the angle up so that to touch the bottom here. Okay. So reflection distance is 100% here on the attribute, effect attribute. Now let's reduce it. The distance to something like, I think this is okay. 35 is okay. Then let me see. The blur amount a bit. Okay, then the offsets. So I think this is okay. Let me see the opacity. Okay, the reflection distance, let me just make it 30. Then the opacity, let me make it something like, let me check, 70. Okay, opacity 50 is okay. Okay. and the blur offset. It's okay. So the opacity, let me make it 60 again, so that it's okay. So this is okay. All right. Okay. So we have this. So what we are going to do is we are going to arrange the videos. Okay. So let's switch the camera view to something like, let me make it custom view left, 4 view left. Okay, so we have something like this. Then this one, let me change this one to the active to custom view 1. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Let's duplicate video 1, Control D, then move it. Let's move it to this side, then select video 1 again, then duplicate, then move it to the left side. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Okay. So now the next thing to do is to duplicate these 2 videos. Hold the Control D, select the 2, then duplicate them. Okay. Then push them backwards. Push them backwards. Okay, something like this. Now bring them in to fill the gap in the middle here. So this one should fill the gap. The next one to also fill that gap. Okay. Okay. So you have something like this. Okay. Now let's move them in. Now let's duplicate the next one. Control D. Then move it to the middle here. Then push it backwards. All right. So at this point, we are just arranging the videos. Okay. Now the next thing to do is to duplicate this particular one. You duplicate it. Let me push it a bit more backwards. Duplicate it. Then push it to the right side. Then duplicate it again. Control D. And push it this side. Move it to this side a bit. Then duplicate that particular one. Then move it in. So let me select this. And move it to this side a bit. So I select the 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then push them backwards so that this one will be in the middle there. I'm just arranging it the way I want it. So don't be watching mine and arrange it the same thing. You can decide to arrange it the way you want. Okay. All right. So let me push the 3 a bit backwards again. Okay. So you have this. Okay. All right. So if I want to end this, I can, let me select this one. Okay. Control D. Then push this one backwards and bring this one in a bit. Then position this one in the middle here and push it backwards. Okay. All right. So for now, let's leave it the way it is. Now let me switch back to the view 1. Okay, so I have one view here. Then the custom view 1, let me change it to active camera. Okay. All right. So we have this. So now the next thing to do is to change the videos. Okay. So we have video 1 here. All right. So now let me go to our projects window. So let me select the next one. Hold the Alt key. Then click on video 2. Then hold the Alt key. Then drag it onto it here. Then it will change. Okay. Click. Hold the Alt key. Select video 3. Then drag it onto it. So let me just hurry up with this one. So after finish replacing the videos, let's bring in a null object. Let's right click in new. null objects, then name it, let's name it control, okay, and make it 3D. Now let's map the camera to it, okay. So wherever the control goes, the camera follows, okay. You see that? See that? So now what we are going to do is we are going to apply an effect called separate XYZ positions, okay. So let's type it here, separate, okay, that's it, separate XYZ position. Let's apply it to the control. So this is what we are going to use to animate, okay. All right, so 0. So now let's do a quick animation here. All right, let's do a quick animation here before we come and do the rest, okay. All right, so let me hit E. E is for effects. Let's move the timeline a bit forward, then set all the keys here, the XYZ keys. All right, then move the timeline backwards again. Then on Z position, let's move the camera out, okay. Let's move it out and push all the videos backwards, okay. So we have this, okay. All right, so we have something like this. Let's play it and see. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. So when the camera moves in and bring in the video 1, okay, let me just zoom in a bit, then move it something like 20 seconds. I say 20 seconds, something like 2 seconds. Then end the key, the animation key, then move it another 2 or 3 seconds. So let me go like this, another 3 seconds. Then on the X, let's move it to this side, okay, to bring this particular one, okay. Okay, so that's, let me end the keys. Okay, so we have this, okay. So now it will zoom into this one, maybe 2 seconds later. The animation keys will go in like this. Let me see. On X, so like this, okay. So within 2 seconds, something like 2 seconds here, it will be moving gradually, okay, gradually, like this, okay, so that it won't be stable there. All right, so you end the keys of these ones. So even with this one, so the animation comes in like this. So with this one, I think we can decide to maybe let it go something like this angle a bit, okay. All right, so that it won't be stable there, okay. All right, so when it goes something like this, then let's say 3 seconds again, okay, 3 seconds again, it will go in. Let me go this direction. Now we zoom in, we use the Z, we use the Z and move in to view this one, okay, to view this one, okay. All right, so this is a gradual process, okay, don't rush it. All right, okay, so we view this one, let it go this angle a bit, okay. Now let's end the key point to the middle one so that it will stay there maybe 2 seconds, something like 2 seconds. But within that 2 seconds, it shouldn't be stagnant there. Okay, there should be a bit of movement within it. Okay, so that 2 seconds it should be doing something like this. Okay, now let's end the keys. Okay, all right. So now from here, what you do is From here, 3 seconds again. We move it to this direction. All right. This direction. Then zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let's continue zooming in. So something like this. Okay. Something like this to zoom into this one. All right. So let's end the key for this one. Okay. And moving something like 2 seconds. Somewhere here. That's somewhere here. Okay. Then move it to this direction. Then go. Then go. So let's end it somewhere here. Okay, let's not do plenty. Let's end it somewhere there. Okay, let's end it somewhere there. So somewhere here is okay. All right, let's not do it too much. It looks like I made a mistake here. So let me put these key points rather to something like 3 seconds. Okay, then this part, let me select these key points because this, yeah, let me select these ones, then paste them at 2 seconds. Okay, so from here, animation key, this one should be going this side, this direction a bit. Okay, all right, so let me end the animation key points here. All right, so after doing this, you can select all the keys, then easy ease them. Okay, easy ease them. All right, now let's play what we have here for now. Let's preview it first. It's too fast. So what we do is we select all, then hold the Alt key, then drag the key points to open them up. Okay, to open them up, because if I think it's still too small, so let me just select this and then open a bit more. Select this, open this one to a bit more. Select this, open it a bit more. Okay, all right, so I think this one is okay. So let me just preview it again and see. Okay, this one, let me open this one up a bit more. The last end there, let me open it up a bit more. Okay, so I think we can leave it like this for now. So now what we are going to do is the test, the title test. So first, it came in. So video 1, okay. So we will duplicate video 1. We select it here, then duplicate it. Then come to title 1, okay. Then hold the Alt key, then drag it onto video 1, okay. So now we move it to this side a bit, then bring it down. Okay, it's still hanging, so we bring it down. Okay, if it's too big, you can scale it down. Something like 80 is okay. 80 is okay. Then move it forward a bit. All right. Okay. So now the next thing to do is bring in the radio wave. So let's duplicate title 1. Control D. then hold the Alt key, then drag the radio wave onto it. Okay, so after dragging it onto it, we come to the mask tools here and select the ellipse tool. Just double click on it for it to form the shape of the radio wave, circular shape. Okay, so now what you do is place it underneath the title 1, then rotate it on X 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, then pull it down. Okay, now let's position it somewhere here. Pull it down. I think the rotation, let me go a bit more so that it will be showing well. So something like, let me see, 100 would be okay. Okay, 100 is showing well. So let me position it underneath the points. Okay, bring it down a bit, then push it backwards, then push it backwards a bit more. Okay, so we have something like this. So now we can leave it like this for now and land here. Which video is that? That's video 3. So like always, we duplicate video 3. Okay, duplicate video 3, come to title 2, then hold the Alt key, then drag it onto it. Okay, then scale it to something like 80. All right, then bring it downwards. Okay, then position it at the last corner there. Bring it downwards more. Okay, now select the same thing, duplicate the title 2. Like always, hold the Alt key, then drag the radio wave onto it, then double click on the ellipse tool to cut it. Okay, now on rotation X 100 degrees. Okay, then you bring it down. Okay, then position it underneath the end of the point there. Position it there, bring it under the title 2. Okay, so you have something like this. All right, okay, you can select the title 2 and the radio wave and bring them downwards. Bring it downwards a bit to adjust it. So you repeat the same process for the subsequent ones, just like how you did the first one, by duplicating the title text and holding the Alt key to use the radio wave to replace it. Okay? Okay. So now we have finished arranging them. So now let's see what we have. Okay. Okay. All right, I think this is turning out well. It's good. Just maybe a few adjustments that you do on later on. Okay. So now let's continue. Then open, let me come to the project file, then open the test. Test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5. So on test 1, okay, so test 1, that's title 1. Let's type something there. Let's type something like village. Red village. Okay, so we have something like this, red village. Since title 5 is going to be the ending, let's widen its title composition a bit. So the height, let's increase the height a bit. Okay, let's increase that a bit. Then let me see. Let me just duplicate this one, Control D. Then move the one under upwards. Okay, so I'll have something like this. Bring this one in. Okay, so I'll type something like simple video slideshow crops montage. Hold the two and scale them down. Okay, scale them down. Then we reposition them. Okay, all right. So you have this. All right. Okay, simple as that. So now the only thing left now is to create the opening. Okay, so what I did next was this. I created a solid layer, okay, solid layer, then use a mask on it. So let me create a mask on it. Let me make it, let me subtract, okay. So on the mask layer, let me just open it up first. So I'll open it up, okay. Let me open it up. Then on the max path, I set a key, right? Then I'll bring the timeline backwards, then close it in, okay? So let me see something here. Let me position the timeline. Let me put the rulers in the middle here so that I won't miss it. Okay. So now let me select the mask on the solid layer again, then move it in onto that particular ruler, then move it in. Okay. All right. Let me take the timeline off. So we have something like this. First, let me name it as open. Okay. Then place it. Okay. Let me place it here. All right. All right. So now let me place it. Let me play it and see. Let's see what we have. Okay. You see how it's opened. All right. All right. Okay. So I think we can leave it like this and apply the bulge effect on it. Okay. So with this, let's see. All right. So let me see something here. So now let's bring in an adjustment layer. New. Adjustment layer. Adjustment layer. Then type a tritone. That's color correction. Type tritone. Okay. Tritone. All right. Okay. So now what we do is the bottom one, let's give it a color like something purple, dark purple kind of feel. Okay. Then the middle one, let's give it color between here and here. Okay, now the top one, let's give it something brighter a bit. Okay, so I think this is okay. Okay, now let me bring it under the footage so that to be on the grid alone. Okay, now let me name that color adjustments layer as color. Okay, all right. So now let me create a new adjustments layer. And name it bulge. Okay. Let me apply a bulge deformer on it. All right. Okay. So with the bulge deformer applied on the next adjustments layer, let's increase its horizontal radius and vertical radius to something like, let me see, horizontal 1155. That's too small. Let me see this one too, 1155. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Something similar to the first one I did. Yeah. So on the open, let me just apply a ramp on it, a gradient ramp. Okay. Then the bottom, let me give the bottom something like purple, a blue green kind of fill. That's for the bottom. Then the top, let me give it a light blue kind of fill. Okay. So we have something like this. Okay, so we have this. All right. Okay. If you think that the budge is too close, you can still move it backwards. Just push them backwards so it will fit in well. Okay. Then let me see. Next one. So at this point, I'm just adjusting it, okay? Let me just push them backwards a bit, okay? All right. Okay. All right. So I think we are done with our work here. Maybe it's the end and the coming in. I think my own, I applied a transition on it. So let me come to Effects, Transition, then applied, is it Grade Wipe? So the last, and then I applied Grade Wipe on it, okay? So let's see the coming in. You can, let's just wipe it from, let me hit E, Effects, to bring it out, okay? Then let's see the coming in. Okay, let me leave it like this. So wipe it from that angle. So completion as 0. Okay. So 0. Let me leave it at 61%. And somewhere here, bring it down to 0. So we have something like this. Okay. Okay. So something like this is okay. But the one I did, I set the angle, the center angle, to this particular point and move it slowly. So it wipe it from this side to the end here, okay? But because I didn't want to waste a lot of time, and that's why I decided to just do the effect, create it on this like this. So when doing it, make sure you set it at that particular angle so that it will wipe it from one angle since I've set it at door, okay? All right. So I think we are done here. Let's not add a lot of things to it or the work will drag on too much, okay? So I think this is okay. So guys, I'm hoping that maybe you guys can do something better with what I've shown here. And let me have a look at it, okay? We are all learning here, all right? So kindly like, subscribe, and comment, all right? I'm waiting for someone to create something new with what I've just done here, all right? All right, see you next time.